Right, welcome back. We're starting to wrap things up here. We're going to take a few more questions from the floor. And I've been watching Twitter. Most of it are comments rather than questions. So hashtag TNA BizBrief, that's B-I-Z, if you want to see what people are saying there at Morning Live SABC as well. Let's take a couple from the floor now, starting with Keith Tabo, who's on table number 4.
Morning, Peter. Morning to the listeners and my president. I think I will start by laboring much on analysis of paralysis within the country. Let's have an approach of micro and macro issues and deal with them, intertwined. And look at globalization, the way South Africa approached globalization. We did not factor in certain factors. Of course, I would hate to see us 22 years now still lamenting about white capital monopoly. We should be saying black capital monopoly. But our government truly has failed us as black business. We can afford minimum wage. We are, my companies and companies of my organization, we are affording that we start. And this issue of skills should not feature because we train this youth. We hire, in our project in digital migration, we hired, we started kids from Cosmo with 5,500. And we are hiring on ICT at Fiber. Other kids, even last week we had some in Pretoria, we started them at 5.5. As black companies, we are doing that. But the challenge is now we are forced in government projects, in SOE projects to compete with Chinese companies who give our kids small money and who also do not have a passion to train them. So, with due respect, we should not labor much on issues of what whites have done. My whites have long left this country. Those of you who travel will know that they've got investment abroad, they've got houses in Mauritius, in Dubai and all that. We meet them on the airport. You can go in the airport anytime. You can see on Friday, Thursday morning they are leaving. So for us as black people, particularly Cosatu and black business must meet with government, close doors, but speak to white monopoly capital and try to coerce them. Don't shout and make these noises. Coerce them because these people have got nothing to lose. Peter, it is very important to look at localization and beneficiation. We've been talking since 1993. I know there was a Japanese industrialist, Professor Hoshi, towards 1993, who gave a clear roadmap on industrialization of this country before we even got into government. But what we did, he ignored those issues. We've seen economies around the globe, whether it's here in Brazil, we've been there, we've been in Europe, we've been in Asia. I can tell the models is to run the economy, you firstly ring-fence your economy, you look at the immediate needs, which is micro. But there are other things that we overlook, which I would invite Cosatu and my president, BBC. There are institutions there are so many things that can grow this country. Go to CSIR. There are so many technologies there that you don't even these multinationals. Yeah. We can localize those technologies. We can commercialize it to black companies. But what those people are doing, what they are doing there, they are doing their own things. And they brought these expatriates whom they use, professors from other countries. So we need various approaches into this thing. It's not the one size fits all. Okay. But for us, let's look at the model, how labor and business meet government. After they meet, they must go to the package. Let us not labor much on Nedlac, because to be honest, Nedlac has done nothing for this country. I thank you.
All right, thank you very much indeed. I'm going to get a comment from Temba, who's on table number 7. Is this from Nektu? If you could be very brief, like 30 seconds, if it's possible.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
When the Deputy President was making an announcement last year about this proposal, Nektu just said, Imrad Valudia is a professor of research. You are giving us a deal that is buttoned and overcoated. Minister of Labor, you are hiding our hands behind our back for the business to beat us. Cyril Ramaphosa, what you are doing, he said, if this is promulgated, the unions have got to join suit. Now, Dr. Baloyi, in every family, there's a problem child. Babu Sdumo, you know that this problem child always said, give us 12,500. Now, how are you going to approach it? Do you have an opaque approach of this? I don't know. Give us an answer.
Okay, and very finally, Kumbudza Bavu, table 13. Also 30 seconds.
Okay, good morning everybody. My name is Kumbuza Bavu from BLF. My question is directed to the Deputy President. Will he be able to survive in 3,500? Our second question is, are they promoting cheap labor in this country because they are beneficiaries to these businesses? Or is it because it's the right thing to do? We are saying SBLF, 12,500, that is the minimum wage. This is not about a matter of a minimum wage, it's all about a living wage. Will they be able to survive at 3.5 now?
All right, okay, so here's what we're going to do. We actually have to wrap up. So please incorporate in your final words some of the things that you've heard, the questions, if you can address them. I'm going to start with you, Clive, and work our way back to the President here.
Thanks, Peter. I hope that this conversation will spark some nerves and people will start realizing how important it is. My argument is still remaining to say, to build a strong middle class, to have a strong middle class, you need to free them of debt. If it must be that we must print money to do that, we should. And business would love it, because if we can make people free of that, then you'll be able to actually, because I think really, they made money during the time when the consumer was still be able to afford. Yeah. Now you have 3-4 kids who go to university and they finish and they still don't have a job. So we need to ask ourselves what kind of country we want to have in the future, and we must build a strong middle class. But most importantly is that a minimum wage in the current status of South Africa is probably not possible. And I can back it. But we need a better functioning economy for us to actually get everybody to be living more than just a minimum wage, but to live affordable lives.
30 seconds or so, Mkhwanazi.
Let's strengthen the current institutions that are in place in order to make sure that the national minimum wage becomes successful. Let's focus on service delivery, because the other issues that have been coming through to the wage demands that have been coming to, it's transport, it's housing, it's health. Right. Those are the most important issues. Okay. So if we sort out those other issues, we can go somewhere to deal with the issue.
30 seconds.
Yes, let us recognize that we do not have a middle class, particularly for black business in this country. As Mr. Mani likes to say, we're one paycheck away from poverty. Let's build and strengthen that. But the most important one that I want to close with is that let us recognize, as black people in this country, that we have buying power. We've never used that effectively to ensure that we make sure that our place in the sign is recognized. We spoke about Whitey Basson, who buys from ShopRite more than anybody else. It's us. So let us take the fight back there and say, what is it that's in it for us?
All right. President Dlamini?
We do have a major problem in South Africa of white monopoly capital. It is a challenge. The property rights, the land rights and everything, it's resting there. And the point made is whilst it is important, but we should never make a mistake of thinking that white monopoly capital is no more a problem in South Africa. It is. The living wage, maybe could have been talking to that when they want 12,500. But when we're talking the national minimum wage, we're not addressing the living wage issue indeed, which is a struggle that we must continue to pursue. So it combines the question, 3,500 can never be a living wage.
But it's a starting point. All right, and that's where we're going to have to leave it, unfortunately. We're running out of time, but we need to have this conversation constantly. To our guests, thank you so much to you. And to you at home, thank you very much indeed as well for joining us. Have this conversation, talk about it, make suggestions. This is an opportunity for you to communicate with the team that's running with this project, you still have an opportunity to put your input into this 3,500 Rand story. It could be more, could be less. If you don't speak, then you'll get what you'll get. Okay, so be part of the solution. Don't forget as well, we have another New Age Business Briefing in the Northwest Province on Wednesday, and we're taking a look at growing economies in these small little dorpies around the country. That should be a fascinating conversation on Wednesday morning. From us, though, have a great day, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.